Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the 49ers podcast. How's everybody doing? I hope we're having a wonderful evening. Welcome to the channel. How is everybody doing tonight? We're going to talk 49er football. We're going to talk Raiders. We're going to talk about Derek Carr. We're going to talk about Brock Purdy. There's so much to talk about. I cannot wait to get into it. Are you ready to talk some football right after this? Yo, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of the 49ers Sickness Podcast live on Wednesday night. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you guys are having a fabulous week. Game day is on Sunday. No Saturday football unless you're watching a little bit of college. Bowls this Saturday. How's everybody doing? Let me say hello to David Villas in the house. Welcome, David. We got Damian Lee in the house. Welcome, Damian Lee. How are you doing? We got Luis Moreno in the house. How you doing, Luis? We got Don Dodson in the house. Welcome. Let's see. We have Daniel Perez. Welcome. Representing from El Paso, Texas is in the house. Welcome, sir. We got Romeo in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome. We got Bill Najar. Welcome to the channel. Welcome. We got David McNiner in the house. What's up, David McNiner in the house? How's everyone doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. Many of you guys already heard. In case you haven't heard, for whatever reason you haven't heard, the Raiders decided to bench Derek Carr. It's sad how the Raiders are handling this. It's sad how they're handling the whole situation with Derek Carr. Derek Carr has played 9 seasons for the Raiders, has done so much for the franchise, and they pretty much said, that's it. We're shutting you down. You're gone. You're pretty much gone next year, whether we trade you or we cut you. But we're not going to afford for you to get hurt against the Niners in this ferocious defense or the last game of the week, and we're going to have to pay out. I don't know about you guys, but I think the Raiders are a classic cheap-ass organization that definitely is not taking care of one of their face of the franchise for so many seasons. What a way to disrespect Derek Carr. Yeah, Derek Carr has been throwing, I believe he leads the league in interceptions, but how do you mistreat a guy like this? George Martinez is in the house. Welcome. Puros pinches Niners. Hasta la muerte. All the way from the 956. McAllen, Texas. Welcome, brother. Welcome. Welcome, senor. We got Robert Escalante in the house. Firebird Califas in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome, welcome, sir. Um, Don says, I'm watching the college football right now. My Oregon Ducks. Duck, goose. Duck, goose. Let's go. You know how we like to do it here in the Niner Sickness world. Please smash your feet before entering and like and hit that like button for your boy Niner Sickness tonight. I would greatly appreciate it. The Davis family does not know how to run their team anymore. Mark Davis is trash. I'm sorry. Mark Davis is trash. By the way, tomorrow at 5 p.m., here on my channel, I'm going to be having the Raider Bear. He is a friend of mine. He's a big time podcaster for the Raiders. He's very educated about his Raiders. And he's going to be my guest tomorrow. We're going to talk about the Raiders versus the Niners on Sunday, the pros and cons, how their team is doing. We're going to get a little bit of insight from a Raiders perspective on what he thinks about his owner, what he thinks about his coach, and what does he think about his team. And are Raiders losing confidence in their team going forward? We're going to find out tomorrow firsthand from my guest, the Raider Bear. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow, Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you are invited here on the Niner Sickness podcast channel to enjoy the live with me. Let's see and make sure I'm not missing anybody. Damian Lee's in the house. What's up, Damian? It says 5 Raider fans just unsubscribe. Yep. I'm telling you, as a Fresno State fan, I feel bad, but as a Raider hater, I'm glad. Yeah, talking about Derek Carr. Totally, I mean, listen. Derek Carr, whether he's been playing bad of late, I understand as an organization, you're trying to protect yourself from a major injury that can occur to Derek Carr, especially facing the Niners defense, man. They know, the Raiders know that Nick Bosa is looking to get his 19 and a half sacks or more to beat Aldon Smith. And they're like, oh, crap. The Bear, Nick Bosa, is going to be roaming loose on Sunday. He can hurt Derek Carr. And if he hurts Derek Carr, we're going to have to pay it out for injury. So the Raiders say, you know what? We're not taking any chances with Derek Carr. We're going to shut him down. And we don't trust the Niners defense. They're that good. Brandon Glenn is in the house. How you doing, Brandon? Welcome, my friend. Welcome to the channel. Dina Harvey's in the house. What's up, Dina? Welcome. I can't wait until we smash my husband's trade ass. I found 2 people crying in the car. I asked what's wrong. They say they are Rams fans. That's a lot to cry about right there. I mean, the Rams are excited because they got freaking Baker Mayfield. And I don't know if it's a testament of how bad the Broncos have been this year. I mean, the Broncos, I didn't see it coming. The Broncos are a complete trash. And the Rams stuck it to them. 52. They put a 50 burger on that Broncos defense. They put a 50 burger. So credit to the Rams, But the Ram fans, they feel like they just won the Super Bowl all over again with that victory over the Broncos. That's all they have. Their team is not in the postseason. So all they can do is enjoy that victory over the Broncos. How sad have they become? Maverick is in the house. What's up, Maverick? Maverick has arrived. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I will be on the podcast tomorrow night. Thank you, Don, for always for your support. Vasilio Mora in the house. Kentucky in the house. San Jose native. All right, on. I'm born and raised in San Jose. I don't live in San Jose no more either. But right on, brother. Derek Carr will end up in Miami next year. Interesting. Do you think that either Tom Brady or Jimmy Garoppolo wind up in Las Vegas with Josh McDaniel? It's a question. David Williams is in the house. What's up, David Williams? Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Daniel Cantu is in the house. What's up, Daniel Cantu says, what's up, Beto? And all the Niner gang. What's up, brother? So, this game is going to be interesting to watch for sure. We got my boy Ryan. What's up, Ryan? What's up, Ryan? How you doing, sir? For No Border Sports, nice to see you. We got Tracy D. Brooks in the house. What's up, brother? Or sister? I apologize. I should have seen the picture. Maybe I am wrong, but it sounds like the Raiders have big time fear of our defense. It seems that way. It definitely seems that way, Dina. Jimmy G to Miami, a trash Lance to the loser Jets. They're going to trade Brock Purdy to the Jets and keep Lance their Maverick. Just to inspite you a little bit. Damien Lee comes in with Matty Ice has $44 million. Then that $48 million left on his contract. Wow. Listen, I know this is 49ers and Raiders conversation. We're going to talk about the Raiders and we're going to talk about our matchups against the Raiders from my point of view, my perspective. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to have a Raider fan that has his own podcast. He's a great content creator on Facebook. He goes by the name of Raider Bear. I don't think he has YouTube. He has a big following on a page on Facebook. So if you have Facebook, check him out. And we're going to go into the enemy's camp and we're going to talk to him about the Raiders, where they're at, what expectation did he have? Does he think that they can beat us tomorrow? And we're going to get his perspective tomorrow. So tune in for that. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the NFC West, if I may. I wanted to talk a little bit about the NFC West, where we stand as a franchise, the San Francisco 49ers, the Los Angeles Rams, the Arizona Cardinals, and the Seattle Seahawks. In which direction are these teams going? Which direction are they trending? Are they trending up? Are they trending down? And we're going to break it down in a few minutes. Welcome, Javier Rios. Welcome to the channel, my friend. So you got the Arizona Cardinals, who I don't know, honestly, if their coach is going to be back next year. I don't know if they're going to fire him, if they're going to bring him back. I do know that J.J. Watt announced his retirement. He will be retiring. He won't be back, whether he's a big factor or not to that team. But that team's a mess. I don't see that team competing at all in the next year, in the next couple of years. Kyler Murray hasn't had a fair shake. I don't know if he's the quarterback of the future. They've been going with McCoy, whatever his name is, over there, and they're pretty much a big mess. Now, you got the Rams, the Super Bowl defending Rams. Well, they're not defending anything anymore because they're out of the playoffs. You can defend your crown if you don't even make it to the dance, right? So you got the Rams, who pretty much mortgage their future. And a lot of Ram fans have always said, our GM is very gutsy. Our GM, he loves to gamble. He's aggressive. He goes after these playmakers. And yes, they won a Super Bowl. To their credit, they won a Super Bowl last year. Now, luck has a lot of things to do with it. They're lucky that we dropped that interception by Chart. They're lucky that the Kansas City Chiefs lost to the Bengals because of that offensive line, the Bengals. I really believe that if the Chiefs would have played the Rams last year, the Rams would have lost. But it is what it is. The Rams won the Super Bowl. But their quarterback, Matthew Stafford, is hurt. He may not come back. His career is pretty much in jeopardy. Okay. They got Baker Mayfield. We know how toxic Baker Mayfield is in the locker room. He's not a starting quarterback. He's not. Snead, their general manager, put all the chips in the middle of the table, and they went and got the corners. They went and got quarterback. The Rams traded. Okay, their last number one pick they had to draft from was Jared Goff. They gave up 2 number ones to go up and get Jared Goff. He didn't work out for them based on what they felt that he was not going to get him to the promised land. And what do? They trade for Matthew Stafford. But in order to dump that huge contract that they owed to Jared Goff, they had to offer the Detroit Lions 2 number ones to take Jared Goff off their hands. So the Rams trade 2 number ones to get Jared Goff, and then they trade 2 number ones to get rid of him. Tell me if that sounds like an organization that is very smart. Now, it paid off. They got a Super Bowl out of it. But you don't want to just win a Super Bowl. You want to win multiple Super Bowls. This year, it's a proven fact that this team had no depth. This team had no depth on their roster. As long as Ramsey was playing healthy, as long as AD was healthy, as long as Matthew Stafford was healthy, as long as Cooper Kupp was healthy, as long as their key players were healthy, they were competitive. But we all knew you lose your starting quarterback, it's a problem. You lose your D tackle, it's a problem. You lose your star receiver, it's a problem. They don't have the depth as the 49ers do. And the ugly monster is starting to show its ugly face, right? Now, Ram fans gave their the Rams don't have a number one pick next year. As bad as the Rams have played this year, they don't even look forward in drafting a quarterback next year to eventually replace Matthew Stafford, because we all know that Baker Mayfield is not it. Okay? They don't have the capital. They gave it away to Detroit. So they can't draft a quarterback. They can't draft any help on defense. And now, all that dead money, because one of the things the Rams were doing is they were kicking the can down the road. At some point, the more you kick the can down the road in players' contracts, it will eventually come and bite you in the rear end. And the rooster has come to roost with the Rams. Why? Because they're going to have so much dead money this offseason. For one, they can't draft high or great players because they don't have the capital. Two, they can't bring quality free agents because they don't have the money. How are the Rams going to be competitive for the next couple of years? How will the Rams be competitive for the next couple of years? They won't. They won't be competitive. The Ram fans are delusional. They're either in denial, but if you know the numbers and you can see how the salary works, they don't have capital to draft. They don't have money for resources. They don't have depth on their roster. They're going to have to bring players at the very minimum. Hopefully, they do something for this team. How is this team going to be competitive? Now, the team that I am worried about, and I know we don't like this team. We don't like the Rams. We don't like the Cardinals. And we definitely don't like Seattle. But Seattle and Pete Carroll are in a great position. They traded away Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos. And they fleeced the Denver Broncos. They fleeced them. They took all their number ones. So, and then the Broncos are playing so bad this year that I believe that the Seattle Seahawks are going to draft, I think, third highest draft. And it's not even their pick. It's the pick of the Broncos. So they will potentially maybe get a quarterback of the future or a D tackle. They need a D tackle. So I'm not going to talk too much about the Seattle Seahawks because we're not fans of them, but I am going to give it credit where credit is due. The Seattle Seahawks will be in contention. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is that the Seahawks and the Niners will be competing each year for the years to come. The Rams will be obsolete and Arizona will be obsolete. So it's going to be a battle of the Seattle Seahawks and the Niners. But with that said, Brock Purdy has been playing out of his mind. This kid is special. I can't get enough talking about Brock Purdy. Now, a lot of Niner fans are like, yes, but we traded for Trey Lance. We gave up so much capital for Trey. And yes, we did. And yes, you're right. But no one expected that Brock was going to be this good. Brock is not just a game manager. Brock is not just a game manager. He is a playmaker. Brock is smart. Brock is decisive. Brock is fearless. Brock does not get rattled. He reads through his progressions. He finds the open receivers. Kyle Shanahan always schemes receivers to be open. But Jimmy, for some reason, could not get the ball to those open receivers. Have you noticed George Kittle in the last two games have been explosive? Why? Are you going to tell me that Kittle just became great player again? You're going to tell me Kittle was not a good player? Kittle was unfortunately a victim of Jimmy Garoppolo. Why he supports Jimmy, I don't know. I don't know. But after these two games, I'm telling you, he's going to start supporting Brock because Brock is putting Kittle back on the map. Kittle, what he brings to this organization is poise in the pocket, awareness of the defenders. He doesn't get rattled. Listen, I said this in my show yesterday or the day before. Whether you agree with me or not. Now, listen to me carefully because I don't want no misunderstanding. Ben Wolf, welcome to the channel, my friend. Welcome to the channel, Ben Wolf. How you doing, sir? I am not saying that Brock is going to be Joe Montana. Okay? Let's make sure that we understand each other in there. But I will say this. I've been watching film on Brock. And yes, it's a small sample size. But it's been 4 games. It's been about a month now that he's been playing very well football. I see a lot of Joe-ish, Montana-ish type of mobility. Joe Montana did not have a big arm. Matter of fact, I got to believe that Brock has a stronger arm than Joe Montana. Joe Montana was a quarterback that was designed to run a Bill Walsh offense. Joe Montana was designed to run a Bill Walsh type of offense. To me, Brock Purdy is designed to run a Kyle Shanahan offense the way Kyle Shanahan has intended for a quarterback to be able to execute everything that Kyle wants to do offensively. I see a lot of Montana in Purdy, or Purdy and Montana, however you want to swing it. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be a Hall of Fame. I'm not saying all this, but the attributes that Brock Purdy brings to the table. And this is not me being emotional or me being this or that. It's about looking at the film, looking at the body of work that Brock has put out so far. He is a 7th round pick, the very last pick of the Niners, Mr. Irrelevant, right? Mr. Irrelevant. All year, the game between the Miami Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers was hyped up. That game was hyped. Tua coming into town, a Hill, Waddle. You had the running backs that were with the Niners. You have the receivers that were the Niners. They call them the 49ers South team, right? Mike McDaniels is coming back, playing against his old coach. All this stigma was brought up. The whole week was the anticipation for that game was hyped. The Miami Dolphins wanted to win, and they wanted to win badly. They wanted to destroy the Niners. A few plays go in, and the unthinkable happens. We all know this. We know the story. Jimmy G, because he can't move, he's not mobile, got hurt. Right? Jimmy G gets hurt. Oh, crap. We don't have Trey Lance. Jimmy G is taking off in a cart. We've seen 2 starting quarterbacks leave in a cart. Here comes in this kid. Okay. Iowa State 22-year-old kid, 7th round pick, Mr. Irrelevant, 162 pick of the draft. Under that pressure, and didn't even flinch. Didn't even flinch. He came in and the 49ers did not even lose a beat. And we beat the Miami Dolphins, and we beat them good. We put 33 points on their ass. All right. People are saying, well, the Miami Dolphins, they weren't prepared for him. They were not, they didn't watch film on Brock. They watched film on Jimmy. So they were not, they were not poised for Jimmy. For Brock, they were poised for Jimmy, blah, 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 blah. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense has a week to watch film on Brock Purdy. And what was the result of that game? What was that result of that game? A 35-7 ass whipping to Tom Brady and the Bucs by yours truly, Brock Purdy. No way was he wavered. Maverick says Jimmy G and Purdy same style as Montana. Purdy just a fresh. Listen, I know there's Jimmy G fans, but Brock Purdy is a better quarterback than Jimmy G. Jimmy G is the definition of a game manager. Okay, he's the definition of a game manager. Brock Purdy is a playmaker. He can extend plays with his legs. He can extend plays by getting away and avoiding pass rushers. Purdy has a stronger arm and is more athletic than Jimmy, in my opinion. Brock Purdy can do what Jimmy does and more. Jimmy cannot do what Brock Purdy does. And you can disagree. That's fine. Anybody can disagree with me. You are entitled. But ain't nobody going to convince me that Jimmy G and Brock Purdy are in the same level of football. They're not. What's up, Steve-O? Steve-O's in the house. How you doing, brother? Don't get me wrong. I love that Jimmy came in when he did. I love that he brought this team into a winning organization, helped Kyle win games, and he did a lot. But whether you're a fan of Jimmy or not, you gotta at least recognize that we're limited with Jimmy. We are limited with Jimmy. There's only so far we can go with Jimmy. And to me, with Brock Purdy, he brings a new swag, if you will. A new swag. This kid has brought hope to the 49er fan base, in my opinion. We know what Jimmy can do and what he can't do. We know that in the NFC Championship game, Jimmy only threw 8 times. 8 freaking times. Meaning, if the Packers were able to stop the run, which they weren't, but let's say the Packers would have been able to stop the run, they would have went to the Super Bowl, not us. Because we only threw it 8 times with Jimmy. I don't expect that to happen with Brock. Now, I don't know how far Brock is going to take us. I don't know how far we're going to go with Brock. I don't. But I have a better feeling with Brock than I ever did with Jimmy. Now, those that love Jimmy are saying, well, Jimmy got rid of his walking boot. Jimmy might be ready for the playoffs. Even Kyle said it. But Jimmy is coming in to be a backup to Brock. And that's a good thing. We don't want to go into the playoffs with Josh Johnson as the backup. We don't. We do not want to go into the playoffs with Josh Johnson as the backup. We definitely want to go into the playoffs with Brock Purdy playing the way he's playing and Jimmy G as his backup. But there's no way you're going to tell me that Jimmy G is going to come in and take over for Brock. If you notice Jimmy's place when he doesn't feel slide. Yep. What's up, Willie Rodriguez is in the house. Car y Vargas Traders. La Vergas Traders. When we were in garbage time, to throw it 8 times, in Green Bay, threw 8 times, 2 things, his shoulder and finger banged up, plus it was snowing. You're talking about last year. I'm talking about the 2020-19 season when we played in Levi's in the NFC Championship game. I'm not putting Jimmy down. That's not what my intentions are. My intentions in this life is not to talk bad or negative about Jimmy. It's to be realistic. It's to speak highly about Jimmy to an extent. We know how far we can go with Jimmy. We hit the ceiling with Jimmy. We don't know what the ceiling is for Brock. And that brings excitement. It should, at least. Now, we're going to learn a lot more from this kid, Brock, going into the playoffs. Because as well as you play in the regular season, even if you lose a game, you still have another week to fight. The reality is, if you lose in the playoffs, you're one and done. And believe it or not, that pressure is real. The playoff pressure is real, my friend. It is real. All of a sudden, you're trying to be more conservative as a player. All of a sudden, you're trying to be more careful because you know if you blow it and you mess up, there's no next week. And that pressure is real. Do I think that Brock Purdy can handle it? Absolutely. Do I think this kid is made of the real thing? Yes. I think that Kyle Shanahan will put him in the best situation based on the defense we're facing. And I believe that Brock will execute to the best of his ability of what Kyle is sending in. And the way this defense is playing this year, lights out. The way, by the way, Nick Bosa will be Defensive Player of the Year. If he isn't, I'm going to riot. Now, I can't guarantee that Kyle Shanahan will be the head coach of the year. I think he should be. I'm not being biased, but listen, you win the NFC West, you make the playoffs, you're the 3rd seed, could possibly be the 2nd seed, and you are on your 3rd, not 2nd, but 3rd quarterback. You're winning with Mr. Irrelevant. If that doesn't give the nod to Kyle to win Coach of the Year, I do not know what will. And if Brock wins against the Vegas Raiders and beats Arizona at home and closes out the season with 6 starts and no losses, do you think that maybe Brock Purdy can be in discussion for Rookie of the Year? Do you think that there's a possibility of him being mentioned and going for Rookie of the Year if we win out? Vinny is in the house. How you doing, Vinny? Welcome. Jimmy G is Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Brock is Luke Skywalker. Joe Montana is Yoda. And Steve Young is... I love the Star Wars analogy. I love the Star Wars, man. I didn't follow Star Wars as much. I watched it, but I'm not like one of those guys that really were into Star Wars. I know. I don't know what I was thinking. I apologize. But I wasn't. Thank you, Don. Kalum, Rise. What's up, brother? Coach will put him in the right situation and the whole team will rely around him. Brock is solid enough to take this team to the NFC Championship. I haven't seen anything to counteract your statement there. You bring up a very solid point. I don't see anything that tells me that this kid cannot take this team to the NFC Championship. This kid can take us all the way to the Super Bowl. Now, no rookie has ever gone to the Super Bowl and won it. But in life, there's always that one time, right? No player has done this until it gets done. This has never happened until it gets done. No rookie has ever gone and played in the Super Bowl and won it. But the opportunity for Brock to do just that is there. Why? Because we have a genius head coach in Kyle Shanahan. We had a genius defensive coordinator in DeMeco Ryans. And we have a great defense, arguably the best defense the Niners had since 1984. Chris Kacerek is running that front line. We have weapons galore. We have Debo coming back. We have Ray, which we saw that he did Debo's type of plays. We have Brandon Ayuk. We have George Kittle. We have Juice. We have Juwan Jennings. We have a plethora of riches. Our special teams is playing well. And our quarterback is making decisions like a veteran. He's not making mistakes like Jimmy does. And Jimmy is a veteran quarterback. And he makes foolish mistakes. For example, in the game against the Commanders towards the end, Brock Purdy took a sack because he knew that if he tried to force the ball, it could have been intercepted. Jimmy would have thrown that ball. You don't believe me? What happened against the Rams in the NFC Championship game last year? At the end. Brock Purdy does not make the mistakes that Jimmy does. Brock Purdy is more mobile. He escapes the pocket. He's aware of the pocket. He has great anticipation, great pocket awareness. These are the things you cannot teach a quarterback. How this quarterback made it through all these teams and got drafted in the 7th round is beyond me. The NFL has to seriously take a look at how they evaluate quarterbacks coming out of college. Zach Wilson, 2nd overall. Zach Wilson, 2nd overall. Trash. Brock Purdy, 262 pick overall and playing out of his mind. Has the NFL really lost and how they evaluate these players coming out of the coming into the from the draft from college. I mean, they missed it, and the Niners have been blessed that they got this kid. I don't even think Kyle knew what he had in this kid. I know everybody says that because of that her being in love with Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy can go and move in with Erin Andrews and her husband, as long as he's not in San Francisco or Santa Clara. I te guacho, Jimmy. I te guacho. We can give more love to T. Gibson. Yes, we can. And we haven't spoken enough about this guy that we brought in as a free agent. What he's done for this defense, for this secondary, is amazing. Hufanga stepping up, second year. Gibson coming in and handling his, Tashawn Gibson coming in and handling his business. Jimmy Ward in his contract year being humble, playing out of position, playing inside when he's not always comfortable, and exceeding at it. Shavarius Ward, what an amazing acquisition he was to the 49ers defense. From front to back, from the D-line to the linebackers to the secondary, this team has no flaws. Now that Javon Kinlaw's back, this team just got better. We have CMC to run the ball. We have Jordan Mason. We have TDP. We have a plethora of running backs. I don't see anybody stopping us. The only team that I see stopping the 49ers is the 49ers themselves. The 49ers are the only team that I see stopping themselves. If the 49ers play smart football, if the 49ers play disciplined football, if the 49ers play mistake-free football and they don't turn it over, easier said than done. I don't care if we play the Cowboys. I don't care if we play the Vikings. I don't care if we play the Eagles, the Giants, the Commanders again. Tampa Bay. I don't care who we play. We will demolish whatever opponent in front of us as long as the 49ers are playing their style of football. Their style of football. Hold on, guys. All right, sorry. We're doing a show at 7 o'clock, so I'm going to be getting off shortly. Make your way over to my YouTube channel that I have. It's called Football Junkies 97. If you have a chance, type it in. It's called Football Junkies 97. And we're going to go live there. We're going to do our last man standing picks where we pick every game of the week, and we going to determine who's the last man standing by the end of week 18. So come and check us out there. We start at 7. I'm going to get off of here. Joseph Galvin, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Van the Man is in the house. Welcome to the channel. No rookie has ever beat Tom Brady either. No Mr. Irrelevant has thrown two TDs. Yep. Absolutely. Oh, I like this. I want to beat Dallas like Ivan Drago beat it Apollo Creed. Oh, crap. And then we will beat Dallas the way that Drago beat Apollo, and then we'll beat the Eagles the way that Rocky beat Drago. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. I got a show at 7 o'clock on my YouTube channel, Football Junkies 97. Go and check it out. Go and subscribe. If you're watching me from Facebook, I have a group on Facebook called Football Junkies 97. Go and subscribe there and tune in and support us as we go live for The Last Man Standing. Until then, I am your boy. Thank you for hanging out with me. Sorry that I have to cut it short at the last minute, but I do have to do the show at 7 with my co-host guy. So you guys are wonderful. Thank you for all of you guys that participated in the chat. You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful evening. Go Niners. I know that I didn't really speak too much about the Raiders tonight, but I will have a guest tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. He is a huge Raider fan, and he is a big content creator for his team. He will be joining me tomorrow at 5 p.m. So if you're not doing anything, come and check us out. And if you're busy, you can always catch the replay. Good night. God bless. Until next time, remain faithful. Peace.